Welcome everybody to the A.I.P channel where anything is possible. We'll talk about anything and everything your heart's desire. Tonight we have another triple themed different projects we're going to talk about tonight. I guess you'd say, two projects and one operation. More kind of government conspiracy and stuff like that. Lots of, once it's declassified, it's amazing to look back at the different things from back in the day of what they've done, and it's interesting to see. So I'm gonna do like we did last week. I'm gonna talk about the three projects, two projects, and one operation, and at the end, I'm gonna give my thought process and stuff. So you guys stick to the end to hear what I got to think. Hopefully you will, and hopefully you enjoy it. So let's dive in. The first one we're going to talk about is Project Stormfury. Have you heard of Project Stormfury? Well, it was an experimental program conducted by the United States government from 1962 to 1983 with the aim of weakening tropical cyclones. The primary goal was to reduce the destructiveness of hurricanes by attempting to modify their structure. The idea was to decrease the maximum wind speeds, thereby lessening the potential damage caused by these storms. The technique they involved cloud seeding with silver iodide. The hypothesis was that seeding clouds outside the hurricane's eye wall, the supercooled water within these clouds would freeze. This process was expected to stimulate convection outside the eye wall, which would, in theory, compete with the hurricane's inner eye wall. This competition was supposed to lead to the reformation of the eye wall at a larger radius, thus reducing the storm's peak winds due to conservation of angular momentum. So they had aircraft fly into hurricanes and deploy silver iodide into the storm clouds. Of course, this was done with the hope of disrupting the storm's inner dynamics. Despite initial promising results with wind speeds did decrease in some instances, subsequent analysis in the mid-1980s brought these results into question. Hurricanes naturally contain too much ice and too little supercooled water for seeding to be effective, and the positive outcomes initially observed might have simply been the natural variability in hurricanes' dynamics rather than the effects of human intervention. Therefore, Project Stormfury did not achieve its goal of reliably reducing hurricane intensity. The project was discontinued after it concluded that the method was not effective. Although Project Stormfury failed its primary objective, the data collected during its operation significantly improved the understanding of hurricane behavior, structure, and life cycle. This has contributed to better forecasting models and understanding the hurricane dynamics. The concepts of the project did go all the way back to Project Surge back in 1947, where they dumped dry ice in the hurricane, which did make it turn and go up into Georgia that one time. The project was a collaboration between the U.S. Department of Commerce and the U.S. Navy. Over its 2-decade span, modification was attempted in 4 hurricanes: Sir in 1961, Beulah in 63, Debbie in 69, and Ginger in 71 across 8 different days. Results were mixed on 4 days, with speed dropped by 10 to 31%, which Hurricane Debbie, the most dramatic, increased 31% on one day and 18% on another. These outcomes, however, initially seemed promising and aligned with the hypothesis. However, the other 4 days showed no significant change, which was chalked up to either poor execution or unsuitable storm conditions. There was also worse observations of unseeding hurricanes like Anita in 77 and David in 79, showing they often underwent the same eyewall shifts attributed to seeding, suggesting Stormfury's successes were just natural behavior and misread as human impact. The realization gutted the project's foundation. The last seeding flight happened in 1971, after by a lack of ideal storms and logistical shifts. NOAA upgraded its aircraft fleet. Stormfury lived on as a research effort until it was officially axed in 1983. Pretty interesting. Operation Timber Sycamore was a classified weapons supply training program run by the United States CIA was with support from several Arab intelligence services from Saudi Arabia. Initiated in 2012 and 2013, the program aimed to support Syrian rebel groups fighting against President Bashar al-Assad forces during the Syrian civil war. Primary goal was to arm and train Syrian rebels to pressure or potentially overthrow Assad's government. It's part of a larger U.S. strategy to influence the outcome of the Syrian conflict by supporting what was referred to as moderate opposition forces. The United States and Saudi Arabia were the principal backers, with Saudi Arabia providing more financial support and weaponry, while the U.S. led the training efforts. Other regional Arab governments and United Kingdom were also supporting the program. The operation was based in Jordan due to its proximity to the Syrian battlefield. The CIA Special Activities Division managed the program with a man supplying various arms like Kalashnikov, assault rifles, mortars, rocket-propelled grenades, TOW anti-tank guided missiles, night vision goggles, and pickup trucks. These weapons were often sourced from Eastern Europe, particularly the Balkans, and then funneled through Jordanian security service to Syrian rebels. There were significant concerns about weapons ending up in the wrong hands, including those extremist groups. Reports indicate that the arms supplied through Timber Sycamore flooded Middle Eastern black markets, contributed to regional instability. The Jordanian intelligence officials were accused of stealing weapons intended for the rebels and selling them on the black market, leading to the termination of several officials, but not the recovery of the profits of these sales. Of course not. In July of 2017, under President Donald Trump's administration, the program was officially ended. This decision came amidst debates of its effectiveness, the rising influence of Russia in Syria, and concerns about the unintended consequences of arming various factions in the conflict. This is why the program trained thousands of fighters and reportedly led to significant casualties among Assad's forces. It did not achieve its goal of forcing Assad out of power. It's criticized for inadvertently strengthening extremist groups and for the high cost for minimal strategic gain. Yeah, that was crazy. A lot of people didn't even believe it was real. It's a crazy thing. Now to the big one for tonight, Project Bluebeam. It is a conspiracy theory first floated in 1994 by Serge Monast, Quebecois journalist with a knack of wild ideas. He claimed NASA, possibly the United Nations, or other Saudi elites were plotting to establish a new world order by faking global, religious, or extraterrestrial event using advanced technology. Think holograms in the sky and mind control and stage alien invasion. We're talking a lot about aliens lately on news and hearings, but we keep going. They wanted to abolish the traditional religions, national identities, and families, replacing them with one government and a new age religion led by the Antichrist. It's kind of just like the Georgia Guidestones was talking about. Put everybody under one language, everybody under one religion, opening mindset. They say it's the possibility of having, with holograms, maybe even having all the deities appear in the sky and then morph into one. We'll talk about it. I'll get to my point in a second. Let's get to the details. Though most evidence was thin, mostly speculation from the tech like HARP, a real ionospheric research program, and vague nods to secret societies, he self-published it in a book, Project Bluebeam, and gave talks until his death from a heart attack in 1996 at the age of 51. He was young. Some believers say he was silenced, pointing to his death and his daughter's alleged kidnapping as proof, but there's no hard evidence for that either. Does it hold water? Maybe. The tech models described global holograms, mass telepathy. Wasn't feeble in the 90s, though. We do have the technology today for the holograms and with drones and such. Hurricanes and natural eyewall shifts debunk similar weather control claims like Project Stormfury, and human psychology doesn't bend that easily to a single fake event. I disagree with what I read, but if it's a big enough powerful event, I don't know. It could. If they had aliens coming in here and boom, and all of a sudden we had spaceships and, Independence Day looking, it'd make people, you know, stop and think, would they be able to put a one unified belief system? Everybody believes so many different things right now. Putting everybody under one block, it'd be very, 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 very difficult to say the least. You know, I don't see the Muslims converting over to a new one. I don't see Christians converting over to another one. But, a powerful enough situation happen. I mean, anything I guess is possible. I mean, if they've seen all their deities, if you see all the deities float into one, and uh, maybe, with them drone shows and stuff, though, I'd be skeptical to say that, that's what it was. It'd be, uh, me personally, I wouldn't believe it right off the bat for sure, but I don't believe anything right off the bat. That's just me. I ask questions on everything. That's why we got this channel here. We asking questions and seeing, throwing this out here. Could they feasibly do a alien attack? There's been false flags before, throughout history. So why not one, with a extraterrestrial twist to it? The possibilities there. I wouldn't put it past nobody, especially for money and power control. Anybody can manipulate anybody for that. That's for sure. We had the potential. Oops, stay. We had the potential, with satellites and stuff all over the place. When you look at Spider-Man Far From Home, he using that technology with them drones and stuff like that, made, it makes you wonder because you've seen, if you look back into movies and stuff, you can see a lot of things, and it really looks like they're showing you what's going on and everything. So if you look at like not Spider-Man, Iron Man 3, if you look into it and you see, uh, the Mandarin, uh, and such. And then you see, he finally gets to him, and he finds out, well, he's just a British actor, and somebody else is pulling the strings. And all the little clips were the same as Bin Laden clips. Is Spider-Man Far From Home going to be throwing? Is that the sign of things to be? Is that the initiation of Project Bluebeam, of a possibility of them using them type of drones to completely make something look amazing? Have deities or monsters, or it's wild, and it's science fiction. Why not? It could be. The possibilities there are there if you look into it. Absolutely, they're there. If they could do it and get away with it, why wouldn't they? To have control. And everything going in the world today, there's some kind of, it's too many distractions going on. I don't want to get political, too big on this. We do enough on the talking with conspiracy. Uh, Trying to keep them separate, I guess you'd say. But it's the possibilities there. I mean, just open your eyes a little bit and see. You can see it. It very well could be using that type of technology. The Chinese drones they got over there, and the shows and stuff they got are absolutely amazing. And that's just what we're getting to see. There's always technologies, 20 years behind what we actually see, especially in government. There might be some badass shit sitting there waiting for them to come up. And, you have to, you have something walking down the street looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and like, holy shit. So, makes you wonder, for sure. The possibilities of that happening is, I know I keep saying that, the possibilities, but the possibilities are there. We have to be very vigilant of any crazy thing that happens, and to make sure we take a step back and go, okay, what is going on? And ask the questions, because all this extraterrestrial stuff and talk, it's got my little conspiracy antenna up on my head, and I'm thinking, Possibly, is it? Are they pushing it? Is it here? Is it going to be this year or maybe 2030? Is that the thing? Or I don't think it's going to be that long if they're going to do it the way everything has so much expanded and exploded with everything. It is wild. So yeah, with Project Bluebeam, I don't know. And I won't even lie, this wasn't even part of it. That just popped in my head about Spider-Man Far From Home and putting Project Bluebeam and Spider-Man Far From Home together. That just absolutely just popped in my head. I don't know if anybody's ever put them two together. I wonder. I'm going to look it up tonight. I'm going to do some research and see. I want to see if anybody else has put those two, the possibilities of the concepts of it together, especially with the all the talk with the hearings on UFOs. I got myself curious now. I won't go down. I was thinking about going to bed early tonight, but I might have to stay up and do some digging and researching and seeing what I can find. Cause I'm curious now. I'm gonna do some digging now for sure. But to go back over the other ones before we go just deep dive and because Bluebeam, I probably could have done a whole show on Bluebeam, but on Project Stormfury, what do you think on that? Like I said, it's another project series. They've been messing with hurricanes for a long time. They've been trying to manipulate them forever. Actually, and manipulate weather since the 1800s when their first patents start coming out. So you got 130 years of testing and trying stuff. What can they do right now? It makes you wonder. Like the hurricanes we had last year, potential bad season coming up this year. Yeah, I mean, is it some manipulation of somebody messing with them? Could it be again? Like it did in Project Cirrus, when they messing with stuff they shouldn't be messing with. I look at it. They don't have no concept of, if hey, we're messing with things we should not mess with. They released all that bacteria on San Francisco and killed somebody and made a whole bunch of people sick. Not even, oh, this is going to be all right. They released a nuclear bomb up in a upper atmosphere. There's a short coming out on that soon. We're so many, they nuclear bombs down Mississippi, down in a cave, just to see what they could do. I mean, I understand the curiosity, but there's also like certain things. I don't think you should even try to be. You can be curious about it, but if you try to go affect it, I mean, you don't know the long term effects of all this stuff, especially when you're doing radiation and all this, and you're messing with weather, and you're messing with all these things that you truly have no control. Mother Nature's going to do what Mother Nature does. You might push her around a little bit, then she's going to come back with a vengeance. Was that hell hath no fury like a scorned woman? And Mother Nature, she got a temper on her ass. So it doesn't surprise me. I'm curious to see later in future declassifications of more, weather manipulation. As I get older, I'm curious what else comes out. Time I'm in my 70s, there's gonna come more stuff come out, and I'm like, man, I knew it. That's what's gonna happen. But by then, it's like, well, I'm too old to care and too old to know. There's nothing. That's what they want you to do. You want you to the point where you don't care. Or it's, well, that was a long time ago, so don't worry about it now. We're not doing it now. I promise you. Wink, wink. Yeah, I hear you. And then you got Operation Timber Sycamore. It was, that was just, that was ridiculous. We were given to the good Al Qaeda, and I mean, you heard Hillary out there, talking all that. We're given to the good Al Qaeda, not the bad Al Qaeda. And we're over here, and that's all that happened. A bunch of our weapons got on the black markets, and a lot of people died and suffered because of us trying to put our nose, I think, in the business that we shouldn't be in. And we've done it for forever and ever, with CIA over controlled and regime change all of South America at one time or another. You look back in history, bunch of the Middle East, Egypt, Iran. You know, it's a lot of countries over there. Things that make you wonder and things that make you go, for sure. To get back to Project Bluebeam, like I said, that one has me the most curious of all right now conspiracies right now. Like I said, with the technology that we don't know is out there, we know what's out there right now is mind blowing what they can do. If maybe they do have the drone technology like they do have on Far From Home, and we can see, and they can do the merger of deities, and or have a fake alien invasion come down and use our weapons to destroy a city or two just to make the people do what they want to do. Things that make you go, more to think about, ask questions. Always ask questions. And I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying the possibilities there, So be vigilant. Ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. I promise it's okay to ask questions. So what do y'all think on that? What do y'all think on the possibility of any of those? I mean, are they still messing with manipulation of weather? Is my question. We know the arms. We know that's happening. Well, we won't even get into that really. But I just want to throw that out one out there. They've been trying to put some different projects together and just put them together and just talk about them. And then Project Bluebeam. What do you think about that? Leave it in my comments for sure and let me know. What do you think of Project Bluebeam? Do you think it could be real? Do you think the connection I put together with Spider-Man Far From Home makes you ask questions? I'm curious to hear. What you got to say. So as always, I want y'all to make sure you like and share. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. We are trying to, you see I'm in a different room. If you've been on the lives, I'm in a different room right now. I'm working on building a new podcast studio where I can actually have people show up and kind of do like a Joe Rogan thing. So more cool things are coming. I'm not making any money off this, but I don't care about that part. I enjoy it. I enjoy the interaction with everybody, the comments on the lives and on the pre-recorded. I'll be able to bring information to people that never knew about certain things, and I didn't know about that. I couldn't tell you how many people I've come up to and say, hey, have you heard about this? Like, I never heard a day of my life. And I'm like, well, here, I got a video on it right here, if you want to watch it. Or they come back, or somebody watches one of my videos and I'm like, I never heard of that my day of my life. So that's, makes me feel good about that. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can get more of this great content. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Pandora. All your favorite spots to get podcasts. YouTube, Rumble. YouTube and Rumble, we are doing the lives. And on Twitter. So we're doing lives on those. Kick. Also, and Twitch. We are actually live on those also every Wednesday at 8:30 Central. So check that out. We also syndicate on the Trouble Minds Radio Network, digital broadcasting KUAP. Check it out. We got some more stuff coming, hopefully soon. Maybe even getting on regular radio. Who knows? More people get to hear the old voice of mine. I appreciate y'all. I know we have fans from the UK to Australia down to Chile.